Welcome to episode 3 of Not So Educational. We hit a big milestone. We have 10 subscribers.
We have 12, actually.
We're on our way to 100.
Oh, well, okay.
That was probably the most pitiful celebration. We have 10 subscribers. Actually, we have 12.
Well, we hit the milestone of 10 because I said I'm gonna do this now. Every time we hit like 10, 100, 1,000, I'm gonna recognize it. So we have to start out.
What about 20?
Well,
Yeah,
today today we only have 4 of us, at least for now. We have Chris. Okay, I thought he was gonna say hello or something.
Oh.
We have Chris,
Hi. What's up, people?
Lizzie,
I'm the cool dude.
okay,
Hello.
and Merlin.
Hi.
Today's episode is going to be interesting. It's going to be about Bitcoin, and we're going to talk about 2 points with it. For at least the main part of today, it's going to be about, is Bitcoin a good or a bad thing? And if you think it's a good thing, how should it be used? And if you think it's a bad thing, do you have any alternatives for internet currency? So to start this off, I guess I'll start off the conversation since that's my job. I personally think it's a good thing that can easily be used in the bad way. I guess normal currency, it's used the same way as normal currency. Like, it can be used for illegal stuff, but it's easier to commit crimes, I think, with it than cash, because you can't trace who's had it. Well, I guess you can't trace cash, but it's harder. It's easier to give it to bad people, and then. But I think it's good. But I think it should be more regulated overall, so we can keep track of it.
All right.
Do we have any different
Well,
opinions? It's
I
kind of a
mean,
bad.
Honestly, I basically am with you, sort of in between, because anything can be bad in the hands of the wrong person, such as black market buying and drug dealing and stuff like that. It can be seamless with Bitcoin or
Like I
something
say,
similar.
technically speaking, it's not a bad thing to have, virtual currencies, but they're always used in nefarious ways. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
think
cannot
all things
avoid it.
considered, it's not the best.
No.
Well, if you think it's not the best, what does it need?
Well,
Right,
probably. Well, actually, I'd say that it's more sort of regulation from people within the actual users of the
So it shouldn't be government regulated?
currency. It's not government regulated. That's the point of having a
Right.
internet currency, is it's not regulated by a bank or something similar.
Yeah, which
But at the same
installed it
time,
regularly.
yeah, but at the same time, I think that it needs to be, conversations need to be had between people within the group that are, and basically said, look, we need to make it so that this is not really used for these things, because it gives the currency a bad reputation. Now, of course, every currency can be used for nefarious purposes, but it's just virtual currency with no internal regulation or external regulation is easier to subvert to a nefarious purpose than a currency which is not.
That's true. That's true.
So
Words of
Chris?
wisdom.
Here's the real question: who created Bitcoin?
Oh, it's like Tatsuma or something. They never came out
Me.
publicly saying it. But
Yeah, no,
It's actually
and the
me.
person who they thought did it, they said had some whole huge media breakthrough, oh, this person did it. Well, they didn't actually.
How much you want to doubt they
So-
don't even know how to code?
Yeah, it was some old guy. I'm not kidding. It was some random old guy.
But then I guess if you think about the guy who invented the so
Who did
The
invent
guy
the
who did
internet?
what?
the guy who invented the internet, he's an old guy now.
Oh.
Actually, is he dead now? Don't remember.
No, I don't think so. But the guys plural, because it was actually like some IT people
I feel like
who
the
invented the
guy.
internet were pretty old when they did so. But that's because back then that was sort of the industry.
Whoever like
Lineup.
invented the internet he's not highly recognized as he should be.
No, he's not. He was at an
No.
Olympics once. Robert E. Can and Vint Cerf is what came up for the internet.
It's just like the same guy who invented the television. He's not highly recognized.
Who is it then?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I did read about
Exactly.
Actually, the funny thing is, a guy had invented Los Angeles television, but he he invented the first camera, but his competitors, since he beat them in making it, they assassinated him on his way to, present it. I think it was
Rip.
like at the big like science fair, world trade or whatever it is.
it. To patent it.
Not to patent it, but it was like to the big world fair.
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but
the World Fair.
is that what it's actually called? I thought there was like something.
No,
like,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
called
think it's
the
probably
World
actually
Fair.
called the World Fair.
Yeah. Well, it's like the biggest deal in inventory and stuff. So. Oh, but we should. I'll keep this moving along since we're kind of hitting a dead spot here.
Well,
So let's try and stay within the main subject of Bitcoin, though. How many of you guys have seen the BitConnect video?
I know.
I have not.
I have not.
Here, let me get you guys the link for this.
Oh,
I probably shouldn't watch it now because my internet's
Yeah.
kind of iffy, but
Well, and we're like definitely doing something right now.
What are we doing?
Mhm.
wow. You're like.
Talking on the podcast, but that's fine. Okay.
That's fine.
Here. So this
It's
was the
just this
guy-
little thing. I mean, it's called the Not So Educational Podcast, and we might be recording right now.
Yeah.
So...
Probably not, honestly.
Oh. I mean, Chris might hit a hotkey by accident again.
Okay. Well, at least
know,
I fixed the Discord.
Sometimes.
Mhm.
But the video I showed is a guy who they ran a company for Bitcoin to make it easier, and basically it turned out to be a major scam. Like people were investing in this company, and well, not investing, but they're giving money to buy Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden they just randomly disappeared.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Like, well, it basically fell out of business because like it couldn't pay its employees or something. There was some like issue with it, and so they basically folded the entire company, and
Everybody lost their
everybody
money.
lost their money. And it basically
Oh.
a load of
Sucks for them.
bitcoins were lost too, which means that like that limited supply of bitcoins just was like cut by a certain amount because of that.
But I was just kind of sharing this because
So like,
this is kind of a thing where if it fails, there's no way, because at least with money, the money just doesn't disappear. Like it can, but it's backed by multiple sources, not just Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
for like the U.S.
Honestly.
currency, well, most banks are backed by the government actually, but the banks are backed by the government. The government, decides. Well, currency is actually run by a company that's backed by the government, but
Yeah.
it just shows like if something goes wrong, it's just all gone and you lose everything. It's not
Mm.
Right.
regulated enough.
I'm ready to see the world just drop all currencies. I know it's probably not going to happen in our lifetime, but I'm just waiting for it.
I think
It's
it'd
going to
make-
happen.
it would just make sense if the world just had one singular currency.
Right.
But then
Or
who
or
controls the
that.
currency, and that's the main issue for it, is like who gets to control it.
Right.
And then if you said, oh, it would just be like the UN or something like that, and then countries would
couple of
elect
countries
people,
that
but
weren't in the UN.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
Well, but
already
it-
essentially have a centralized currency because the U.S. dollar is
dollar, yeah.
used universally as the trading currency. So, like, I
Hmm.
guess if
Basically,
when
like,
the
what it
trading
usually if you're in
currency
a small
changes
shop.
from so when the trading currency completely changes from the unstable U.S. dollar to the stable yen, then the yen will be the universal currency essentially.
See, the thing is
So,
with the yen is it's Chinese and I'm American, so we kind of have a
Wow.
iffy
well,
relationship.
You
It's an
know,
iffy.
you realize that China is the largest trading partner of
Literally.
the U.S. just
Well, I
ever.
know it. I know it is. I'm just saying, like, it's just Americans have a. Most Americans aren't major fans of China. Same with Russia.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mainly because they're our only competitors in the world.
well, I think some
It's hilarious.
people just need to realize that we
See, the thing is,
are
I don't-
not
it's
the
not-
best country in the world, and
Right.
yeah,
what country is?
is there a best country in the world? No.
Well,
No,
which one
it's
would you
all a
say you
form
would
of opinion unless you look at like
Every
statistics. Like
every
depends on what
country
kind of person you are.
has
Well,
their downside, and they have pros too.
So, Chris, what would you say, in your opinion, is your country you'd prefer to live in?
Not the U.S.
Then, which one?
I don't know. Like
'Cause it's a
With
big
the-
statement to make.
with the U.S.
Without,
there's a very wide difference between the middle class and the higher class,
mm-hmm.
and there's
Mhm.
not that much difference from the middle class and the lower class.
Mhm.
Well, then it depends. It depends what you define as middle class. Because technically, my family's middle class, but we're considered upper middle class. But we could be considered upper class too.
Because
there's
most
kind of
most upper class people have most of the U.S.'s money.
were you talking about like the 1% kind of?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not much better than any other country. It's still a socialist country. You still have free
Yeah,
markets in almost
but-
every single one of them. Like communist China still has a free
but
market.
the thing with the U.S. is we are a capitalist country. Like
Mhm.
we can't deny that we are, and
Well,
just-
proudly.
yeah, and I've heard people deny it, and just like, okay.
Well, yeah, it's
but-
technically not. It's not pure capitalism.
The
It's
thing is with business
Capitalist
people,
pigs. I'm sorry.
Mm.
with business people,
bourgeoisie.
they don't like to hand out money. They like to.
Do you
They,
like to
they're
hand out
very.
money?
They're very not like literally hand out, but they don't like to have higher salary. They'd rather
They're
just
very
have the money.
stringent with cash.
Well, the thing is, if you were running a company, would you be willing to lose most of your profits to pay your underlings more? I'd say most people really wouldn't.
Yeah, but if
I'm not
you
saying it's a
but
bad
if
or
you
good
have
thing,
if enough money, to buy anything, you don't have
Oh
anything
my
you can
God,
buy,
what the
then
fuck was that?
why would you need that much money? Just
Well, a lot
raise.
of rich people who earn their way, except for if people inherit it, they're like a different breed of human. But the people who earn their way, most of them give away lots of their money
Yeah,
because they realize the situation.
yeah, but because usually they grew up and know the struggles.
Well, yeah, most of the if you look back in American history and you think of the major rich people throughout American history,
But-
most of them were self-made. And
businessmen just need to realize that money is not
Business
everything.
America.
Yeah, America too, because we grew up thinking that money is everything, even though it's not. There's other things.
Right, like I've always heard the saying. I've never heard it said to me or believed it or anything, but there's always been the phrase, "Oh, money makes the world go round."
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like, well, yeah, it depends on your view on the world, I guess, and your view of the money.
Well, I think that saying can be used in different ways. You could use it as a way to like negatively affect people, but you could just say like that's what keeps the world operating, trade in the sense.
Right.
It could be a
Yeah.
positive thing, or it
Yeah.
could be used negative.
Yeah, like again,
Sounds
it's
like,
all in
whoa.
interpretation because if you're taught, oh, like I don't know, like when you're, because usually when people are little, they're like, oh, I want to make a whole bunch of money when I get older.
Well, everybody,
so I
you
can-"
want to make money, you want to have a comfortable
Right.
life.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't. Well, obviously they're like kids usually. They don't know what is actually happening. Like I don't know. Like not saying the kids are stupid, but they're naive. They don't like realize what
Well,
they're
the thing
fully
is
saying.
that you would people would say like, well, especially when it comes to like religion and stuff. I'm not gonna touch on that, but when your parents have certain beliefs, they imply it's technically brainwashing because you know you have no. And the thing is, no matter who you're born into, you're always gonna think what your parents believe is most of the time until you get older. So it's kind of. Then if you raise people in a family where they're, let's say, communist or something, then those kids are automatically going to be communist. So it's kind of.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I was raised in a Christian family, so I have Christian morals and beliefs. But if I was raised in, say, like a Hindu family, I'd probably have way different opinions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, then there is the whole like the concept of your parents sort of forcing stuff on you, and it drives you away from what they think too.
Well, the thing is, like with me, I've noticed like recently, I've kind of drifted a bit away, more conservative, in thinking. But that's just because of my own like personally studying it.
Right, because you're thinking for yourself.
I still agree with a lot of it, but some of the stuff I just listen to and I'm just like, oh my. Oy vey.
Oy vey.
But yeah.
Well.
I'm still kind of curious, Chris. What would you say you would like? What characteristics do you like in a country, or I guess culture is a way to put it.
Like American culture, I think one of the.
Well, that's what.
Just like the society as a whole, we're very creative when it comes to things. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I would say like the arts community in America is very.
That's what I just said, but okay.
Yeah, very good.
Like
but...
we have really good like creative people in America. That's why we have the whole Hollywood and all that stuff.
Right.
What about Bollywood, dude?
Okay, space.
But at the same time, I have to say that the U.S. has like a really like a massive political sort of undertone to everything that happens.
Yeah.
Because you have to be following one party or the other, and your actions have to align with that, or else you're insane or something.
Right.
And it's just like it gets annoying for me as a person who I really don't care about like a political party, because most of the political parties don't actually accurately depict my views. I just sort of have to pick which one gives me what I want out of things, at least as best as possible. So,
which one gives you the smallest brain aneurysm?
Yeah, exactly. Which one makes me want to slit my wrists the least?
Okay.
So,
Wow.
That just took a very
Well, yeah, that's the issue with having a two-party system. Is it turns into you have ultra right, ultra left, and that's what it turns into. But then when you look at like different countries where they have a lot of big parties, then you never get anything done because they never have enough of a majority to really get much done. So it's kind of the more parties you have, the less public support you can have behind a party, but the less parties you have, the less variance in beliefs. So it's a give or take. What do you prefer more? Because then you start farming coalition governments, and those are just supremely ineffective. Well, they can be, but most of the time much less effective than if one party is in power. I would have to say at this point, I would say America's probably the best country to be living in for if you want to. But I mean, there's other countries where they have their benefits, but they have a lot of downsides that where I would just say in America that it's mainly the culture that people will disagree with than anything than the actual government. Because we have a pretty
yeah, but
centrist government overall, because, you know, when you have two parties come in, they kind of try and overturn it. It just kind of comes.
when people say that we're like a completely free country, I just
Yeah,
it's not true. Like,
We're the most
Nope.
free country in the world, but we're not free.
No, you're not the most free country in the world.
like
Well, there's not. Well, what other
You're
country?
worse than Canada in
Canada
like
has-
political and social freedoms. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. I'm just
I'm just gonna say Canada doesn't have a lot of the base rights that America has. Like, they don't even have freedom of speech.
They do.
No.
Yeah, Canada does have freedom
don't
of speech.
argue with the Canadian.
Don't make him mad.
But then we get
release
more.
Don't
the
make
wrath.
me angry.
I'd say one thing that is a little more difficult is America's very big.
Yeah, it is.
And, sorry, I kind of stopped talking.
That was the most anticlimactic fucking thing I've ever
Yeah.
The thing is, you look at, like, because we started in the East, and then that was its own culture, and then the Midwest is different because that was different groups of people, and then the people on the West Coast are completely different. Then you got the Alaskans and Hawaiians that are different because when they were first made, it was just
They're just chilling.
they didn't really have too much contact. Although we do have an amazing postal service at that time.
Wow. And we used to have the Philippines, but then we gave that away.
Well, the thing is, I think I'm not sure how next exactly to say this, but because it could apply to America too, where they might technically say freedom of speech, but they don't necessarily have it. If you know what I mean, because they have other rules where it allows them to limit, because there's a in.
Well, yeah,
Canada,
but you do have
you
to.
can't use hate speech, but hate speech has been really corrupted to more or less make it so conservative views are a lot of times suppressed. Not saying always, but like right now, like technically in Canada, it's illegal to use the wrong pronoun for a
No.
person.
No, it's not.
Wait,
not.
did they repeal? Oh, they repealed that, didn't they?
No, they didn't even make that in the first place. It was just a media overhype of a really old law that basically said that businesses could be sued by a person if they discriminatorily hired, like, you know, like, we're not going to hire people who are transgenders, something like that, right? That's the sort of thing. They can be sued by that person if they say that sort of thing. That's what it is.
Canada has a Senate.
Yeah.
I never.
We also have to answer to the
Queen
of England.
The
It's gonna be
Queen.
really fun when whatever the fuck his name, Charles, whoever the fuck his name is.
Oh yeah, when he
decides
comes.
to get in.
Wait.
So yeah, like as
Canada
a Canadian,
is still like owned by.
it's a pseudo.
It's part of the
well,
Commonwealth.
Okay, so it's part of the
Oh.
Commonwealth, and the British monarchy is the Canadian monarchy as well.
Oh, okay, that makes
And like
sense.
we have a governor general who like is essentially a link between Canadian and Europe, like English, like the Canadian and the UK government. And I know that it was only like 1940 something before we didn't have to ask the Queen to sign laws. So yeah, it was a while before we had to, you know, do that sort of thing. It was hilarious. Like, we gained our independence, but we still had to like enact laws and stuff. We still had to get the
So-
approval of the queen
Canada
for a while.
Canada has had a revolutionary war.
No, we just asked for it, and Queen Elizabeth was like, "Yeah, sure. I don't really want to have to deal with this anymore." So
We already had to deal with America. We're not going to deal
it's
with
like,
you
yeah,
two.
Gucci. Yeah, we're not dealing with Canada as well as the U.S.
Ah.
I think another problem with the U.S. would probably be that, well, we're also very stereotypical, but
God, yeah.
like
Nation
we
of
always
stereotypes.
we always put people into categories, and we don't look at people
yeah.
the same way, and that's how it's always been. Like,
Oh yeah.
like you have to be. Well, I don't think this way, but people still think that the white people are the dominant race or whatever, even though it's not true.
Oh well, like the whole idea politically around the world of like, you know, white supremacy or like, you know, the patriarchy, all that bullshit. It's so annoying because it's like, it's not fair. Like, if I'm looking, because it's not true. Like, if I want to get a scholarship on something, I'm competing against a woman who has a higher chance of getting a scholarship, regardless if I have the same grades.
Exactly, and it's just
Right?
so
Like,
stupid.
And it's like, it has not existed for like, you know, a long time, and it's really annoying when these feminists just bring this up as to try and justify their actions, and it's like, well, it doesn't exist. You're literally lying to our faces. So
Oh, feminists. Oh, feminists.
yeah.
I know way too many people that do not know what the heck they're talking about, and they
Mhm.
try to label themselves as standing up for women's rights when they're not.
They're doing the exact opposite.
Literally, they're putting women above men or this above this, and the whole reason
Yeah, it's like
it was
the
created
original.
for everyone to be equal, not
Yeah.
to raise the like previously lower one above the other one.
Yeah.
And like, also, we don't. I hear people like last year talk about gay people and talk bad about them. Just like, what's wrong with them?
Right.
They're people. They just got like different views. Like, there's nothing wrong with them or anything. Just let them do what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like,
I could go into the whole idea of gender identity, but it would probably piss off a lot of people.
let's
So I'm
not
not
do
going to.
that. People
'Cause-
just gotta realize that we're all different. So
Yeah.
get over it.
Yeah. And just because we're all different does not mean we need to all be assigned a different label.
Yeah, we all got
There's
different
general
blood types.
labels for a reason, so we don't have to keep track of all the other ones. Like, I'm not gonna have to keep track of all fucking thousand different labels that people call themselves.
Weren't we talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
was the original thing we were talking about. Yes.
Also, where did space go?
Hey. Well.
Okay. We just started talking about America and crappy things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That's retarded. Ah. Damn it. Okay.
So, campfire songs, anyone?
Dying alone, anyone?
Stop!
Well, maybe for you, but I'm
That's
good.
different than campfire songs.
Yeah, it is very different than campfire songs.
Anyone got any funny jokes?
Funny joke hahas?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. I got one. It's pretty funny. You probably
Oh, shit.
you might have already heard it before. I would just be like,
Uh-oh.
okay. And if you have, I'm just gonna look up a list of bad jokes. So, what do you call a fish without eyes?
What?
Fish. Fish.
Oh, without eye.
Yeah.
Ah.
Awkward silence. Okay, let's see if there's a... Just drop something. Okay. Let's see if there's
It
any...
sounded like a coin.
It was.
Was it a Bitcoin? No, just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, I have a joke.
Okay, what's your funny joke?
Well, I don't know if it's funny, but why did the dinosaur cross the road?
Why?
Because the chicken
know.
joke wasn't invented yet. Okay, wow.
That was such a sarcastic laugh.
You're welcome.
What's Forrest Gump's email password?
One Forest One. I love that one. Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants?
Why?
In case he gets a hole in one.
God.
Oh no.
What's at the bottom of the ocean and shivers?
What?
A nervous wreck.
So I guess this is our terrible jokes section of the
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
not
just
so
gonna
educational podcast.
throw that on the screen right now.
Yeah. Don't forget, don't forget the editing.
What
I
do you
cut-
wait?
Oh shoot. I cut my finger chopping cheese, but I think that I may have greater problems.
What do you
Oh,
call
man.
what do you call a nun in a wheelchair?
Hmm.
I feel like I've heard that.
Virgin
I don't.
Mobile.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh, what do sprinters eat before a race? Nothing. They fast. Ooh. I gave all my dead batteries away today, free of charge. What did the Mexican firefighter name his 2 sons? Jose and Hoseby.
Roses are wait. Roses are dead. Violets are dead. I am a bad gardener.
Why are there fences around a graveyard? Because people are dying to get in.
Ooh. And the bad puns
If-
fly in.
If life gives you wow, I cannot.
Oh no.
read. If life
You
gives you
should stop
melons,
speaking.
you are dyslexic.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. I'm reading anti-jokes right now. Some of them are funny.
Others
What
are
did-
not so much funny.
What did Sushi A say to Sushi B?
What?
Wasabi.
Wow.
How much does a hipster weigh? An Instagram.
Oh God.
Oh no no no.
Oh no 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 no.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize. Why was the big cat disqualified from the race?
Why?
Because it was a cheetah.
Why does a baby... What does a baby computer call his father?
What?
Data.
I was gonna say that, but I thought it was wrong.
Oh, man.
What do you call a group of killer whales playing instruments? An orchestra. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, this one's my favorite. What did the Lion King tell Simba when he was walking too slow?
What?
Mufasa! Atheism is a non-profit organization.
How does Moses make his tea? He brews
How?
it. It's so stupid.
I fear for the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Oh my god. Literally gagging.
Why did... No, you can go, Chris.
What do you call a joke mixed with a rhetorical question?
Isn't that the joke?
Sarcasm?
Isn't that like the joke? There's no like answer to that.
Yeah, it's just the joke that we're being
Yeah,
told
yeah.
right now.
Why did Cinderella get kicked off the soccer team? Because she she kept running from the ball.
Wow. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Because they're extinct.
Because the P is silent.
Oh! I was thinking too literal. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Oh my god. That is terrible. Holy crap.
What goes down but doesn't come up?
What?
A yo.
Oh! Velcro. What a ripoff. How did the frog die? He commit suicide.
Oh man.
It's so bad. What did the pirate get on his report card?
What?
Does this actually just become our entire podcast? Is just
Yes.
shitty jokes. Okay.
7 C's.
What's a duck's favorite drug? Quack.
Goodness.
Okay. Moving on, I guess.
Wait.
Wait. There's
I have two more, and then I'll be done.
Okay.
Our wedding was so beautiful, even the cake was in tears. And then, how many lives does a Nazi cat have? 9. Okay, I'm done.
Wait. One second.
Ooh, I have one that my best friend told me a long time ago. What concert costs 45 cents?
What?
50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
Why does Michael J. Fox make the best milkshakes?
Why?
He uses the finest ingredients.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, well, space died, so that's good.
well, space is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some answers to our question that we asked some of our fellow Discord friends and who invented the internet. Someone said it was Illuminati and Microsoft. So there's your answer to our question earlier. Illuminati and Microsoft.
There, you also missed the inventors.
Oh yeah,
God.
yeah. No, the interneters.
Oh, I can't read. Alright. So, I guess we're wrapping it up.
All right.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah. Anyone wanna wrap it up?
Merlin, go ahead. Take it
Oh
home.
God. Well, I guess this is it for this episode of the Not So Educational Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys were supposed to say bye too.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.